Welcome to the shortwave radio channel. And well, yesterday I had some fun, and I think I'm gonna have more tonight with two radios that I used that are old friends that I've been using for years. They had not been used much in recent months, and so I decided, okay, let's take out the Tecsun PL-600, the Tecsun PL-680 and play with them together. I was listening to some different signals, sometimes listening to same signals. I listened to some number stations. I got Mixed Radio International Pirate on 6860 upper sideband that I actually tuned around and was able to zero in with the music and everything. Of course, very stable receivers. Once you've zoomed in, once you've synchronized a single sideband signal to perfect pitch, they just stay there and always stay there. They're very, very stable with the PLL synthesized receiver designs. These two radios don't mute when you tune. They are not DSP based. They don't have that DSP chip as one of their stages in here. So that is one of the reasons they probably don't mute. It is interesting because I had not played that much with both of them for such a long time. I actually started using them, it was about 3 p.m. local. I shut them down, it was midnight, so I did about 9 hours of radio listening with those yesterday. And it made me realize different things that are a little different on each. The first thing is that both are as sensitive pretty much as the other. So whatever I got on one, I got on the other without any problems. Single sideband, the only difference that I see is that the PL-600 has a single sideband switch with BFO. It doesn't say upper or lower sideband in the display, where the PL-600, 680, has a separate upper lower sideband when you actually click for the mode. But in reality, there are very little difference, except there's still a BFO to play with, so it technically makes it a little easier to tune a single sideband signal on the PL-680, but using the little knob for BFO is still the same. It is very nice because they put a little dent, a little notch on the BFO, so when you actually are centered, here I'm centered, I can feel the notch that they put to make sure that you know where you are zeroed in technically on the switch, on the tuning or the BFO changes. Now, the other things that are different is that the sound quality of the PL-680 is improved over the 600, which is a little harsh. It's a known issue. There is a mod online that you can do if you are a little savvy in electronics. You can actually change just add a little component. I believe it's a capacitor that you change or add. That definitely improves the audio. Both have audio through with the filters through a narrow wide switch pretty much. There's also on the side of these radios a tone switch, which basically just depending on what you're listening gives it a more bass or just more treble. Typical of these radios that are PLL driven, not too many features, the basic ones, and just work with that. Of course, the DX normal local switch here. I used them yesterday on telescopic only all evening, so they performed well. I listened to the Voice of Turkey. I listened to Radio Romania, Mixed Radio International. I got a BBC with telescopic really well at 9915 kilohertz at 04 UTC before I shut them down. So definitely good radios for sure. The PL-680 has something the 600 also doesn't have, which is sync detection. It's not available on the 600. Sync detection is okay on the 680. It's not the best, but it locks when it locks well. Usually works well. But probably one of the biggest differences in the 680 is the fact that you have the Airband that is available on this. Airband is okay. I mean, it's sensitive enough. You live near an airport, you will hear your local airport and some of the planes passing over. Once again, not my favorite. There's no shortwave radio that I see that has Airband that really, performs that great. It performs well when you live near an airport, but don't expect to hear much And the scan speed is so slow to find anything, is also a disadvantage. But if you just want to lock into your local airport to hear the planes, it does the job, and we'll do that job decently, for sure. So the 600 does not have the Airband, of course. Both are great. I've been using them for, man, it's like these radios are almost 10 years old. I've purchased the 600 very early on. One of my first, I think the 600 is my second Tecsun receiver purchase ever. And the 680 that came out maybe a year or two after. This is one of the first iterations of the 680. Unfortunately, mine suffers from about 1.5 kilohertz off display, which cannot be, you cannot calibrate it. There's no calibration. Some people say on the later versions, there are calibration possibilities. Yet, I've never seen anybody do it. So, you know, I don't know. 660, PL-660 does, yes, have calibration. But a 680 on this one anyways, there's not, because this is really one of the first firmware versions. So if there is, it's probably on the later versions that were done afterwards. Nice big displays, of course, no RDS. One thing that I like of the 600 over the 680, my 600, you can actually press, hold, and there. The display stays on with the light stays on at the display at night. Love it. Something that is not possible. It doesn't happen on the PL-680. The PL-680 has, you know, on, and it will stay on for like 10 or 15 seconds and go off. You cannot keep it on all the time, unfortunately. I would have loved to add the same feature of the 600, which means, you know, it just stays on all the time. Overall, two nice radios. They're still sold today. You can still find them at decent prices. No muting, no chuffing when you tune around. This is definitely something I think that a lot of people will enjoy. And of course, memory channels and all of that. Single sideband tuning is great. Better on the 680 than on the 600. 600 suffers from a little bit of roughness on the SSB, but still, I listened to Mixed Radio International with pretty good and was a pretty good tuning actually of the single sideband. And once I got the tone correct for the music, man, these radios, both of them were great to listen to, for sure. And of course, they have long wave, medium wave, FM. Not bad on FM. They are actually interesting on FM. Not too bad on medium wave also for performance. So if you're looking for these radios, you know, different from what you have today with the DSP chips. And if you do find, you'll find the 600 still. The 680 is a little more difficult to find from what I see. But they are nice radios, and still enjoy having them in my collection, definitely. So that was my 2 cents worth of the Tecsun PL-680 and 600 when comparing those together. It was a lot of fun to play with those yesterday. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.